Hello, everyone. I'm Adam with Demiplane. Thank you for joining me for this week's development update and community Q&A session. I am coming to you from the vaulted days of yore, from the past. This is a pre-recorded episode because I am currently on the road headed toward Gamehole Con. So I am traveling, driving on the road right now. So I put this together for you last night. Man, it's hard to talk in all the tenses that I would need to do for that. But what that means for today is I'm still going to cover all of the updates. We have so much going on in the last week, especially with the big Vampire Nexus release last week. But we'll cover all of those things, all the latest updates, what's on deck. We will also be giving away an Avatar Legends Ultimate Bundle today. So good luck. Pay attention to all the prompts in chat for that. But when it comes to the questions, we will not have our live questions today. So if you are used to asking those in chat, they are not going to be collected. So save yourself some effort there today. I am instead going to go through a list of frequently asked questions and questions that maybe I don't always have time to get to when it comes to the question segment. So we're going to do those at the end. And if you've got a burning question, feel free to still ask it. Someone in chat will, try to answer that for you or collect it for me when I can come back to them. But then also you can join back next week for live questions again. I will be back for a dev update live next week. So here I come to you from the past. All right. In case you missed it, and this is one of those things that if you did miss it, then I'm almost just thrilled that you get this news today, like that it's actually news to you now, because this is really exciting stuff. We have the character tools for Vampire Nexus released and available. They are out into the wild, or into the night, if you will. They are now hitting tables out there. We've gotten a tremendous amount of positive reception and feedback for this. It's been really exciting to see, very validating for the team to see this. And we've gotten great feedback across the board. So some of the things that we've seen coming through, we've already made some adjustments that I'll talk about in just a few minutes. But the release has gone really, really great for us. We are very excited to have these character tools out there. It's going to make playing Vampire the Masquerade easier than ever. And as someone over the years who has had some level of difficulty getting some of the people that I play with to play anything else that doesn't have that DDB thing available for it. This is really exciting because it gives an avenue for that to help onboard new players. And I've already seen this happening in my own games, and I'm excited for all the new games that are going to be happening out there with it. But terribly excited about character tools for Vampire the Masquerade. Can't wait to get into some more of the World of Darkness, as we will in the next few months here as well. But go check out the character tools for Vampire the Masquerade. If you somehow missed it, also we have the character tools available for Avatar Legends as well. And then of course the beta is going on for Pathfinder. We're in the middle of some big overhaul changes with Pathfinder on the performance side, but we have those 3 games have character tools now at this point, and we've got others that are coming soon as well. So check those out. Very excited to have those out. So I just talked about the character tools, but also we've got some post-release fixes and enhancements that have gone in. So we've got some things surrounding advantages, merits, and backgrounds where you purchase dots in something and the experience costs weren't quite right. We actually worked with the World of Darkness team this week to confirm some rules that maybe are a little in conflict, and not necessarily conflict, but conflict out in the community on interpretation of them. And so it's been really good to get some confirmation on some of those things, like being able to go from beautiful to stunning, and that being not 2 separate merits, but being able to actually upgrade that with experience and all of those things. And so we've got several of those fixes that have been implemented now and are available out there. As always, you can pay attention to the forums or our Discord channel to see what the latest greatest is with what's being released, and we will continue to work on resolving any of those kind of issues or bugs. We caught a few of those. That's just what happens when you go from 100 people taking a look at something to thousands of people taking a look at something. We've found some things, and the team's been really working hard to squash those as they've come up. So again, really working and focused on making this the best character experience that you could possibly hope for Vampire, and we're going to maintain that commitment going through. We are also working on the Chicago folios and getting very close to that one being ready. We also have a little bit, it's not on the screen right here, but we have received some confirmation on the availability of and I am completely blanking on Blood Sigils. That's the name of that book. I started to say blood sorcery, but I knew that wasn't it. But a great supplement that is out there, kind of in early access in PDF form now. We'll have more news on that pretty soon here as well about integrating that into the character tools. We also have a sale, if you missed this, going on right now, that you can get 20% off Nexus books. This is extending through the end of the month. So through Halloween, you're able to take advantage of that sale. So check that out if you are trying to jump into Vampire Nexus or actually any Nexus with any of those books. You can use that code for that. On the Pathfinder front, as we've been reporting for the last couple of weeks, we are deep into the core remaster updates. So working on that, doing everything we can to have that ready when the core remaster content initially hits next month. Also working on character performance updates for the character tools. This is something that, again, during the beta, this is one of the bigger focus points for us that we've seen. We've been able to see a dramatic improvement with some of the refactoring that we discovered during the Pathfinder beta with Avatar as well as the Vampire character tools. And if you use those tools, you can see what I mean by that. We're expecting similar improvements for Pathfinder as we continue to work on these updates, and we'll keep you posted on how that is coming. Avatar Legends Nexus, you see our statue of our boy Aang here, who is, in this statue, the man Aang, that is looking out from Republic City. We have now released that on Avatar Legends Nexus. We have a new extras section where you can enable pro bending or vehicles and mech. As you're doing that, you can keep track of what's going on with those vehicles or the mecha, as well as keeping track of reputation for pro bending. So all of that is now live and available for Avatar Legends Nexus. It's a great expansion for the game. Legend of Korra is one of my absolute favorite shows, and the feel of Republic City. The moment I remember seeing the first episode of Legend of Korra and just being immediately sucked in to this idea of, oh, this is, this metropolis where people are coming together after this 100-year war, trying to coexist and trying to make it work. With unity being kind of at the forefront of that, and some of the challenges that come from that. And so again, the show explores so many things with Republic City, and now you can do that in your games. And so check that out. It is live on Avatar Legends Nexus now. We also have a new episode of Children of Erte tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific. I am actually not going to be there in person, but I will be there in spirit. I will again be traveling, be on the road tonight. But Deborah and the rest of the crew have some very exciting things planned. And honestly, it's one of those rare circumstances where I'm almost glad that I'm not playing, tonight, and that I won't be there, because what she has cooked up and what that means for tonight and next week when I do return is something that maybe wouldn't have happened otherwise, but it's going to be great. So that just the framing of it's going to be great. So I can't wait to see how it plays out. So definitely check that out tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific. All right, continuing here, we have a pretty exciting update, especially if you go and attend conventions or if you play at local game stores, and you want to share your characters. So we've got a new update that has gone out where in the character sharing section, we now can generate a QR code that makes it very, very easy for someone to copy the character that you currently have pulled up on your phone, or again, if you're at a convention on a tablet or other kind of device. So if you come to one of our character creation stations at Gamehole Con, this week even, you would be able to, using the tablet, create your character. You can pull that over into your account very, seamlessly using this QR code now. And so I'm going to show that off a little bit here. But essentially, we made silver actually last week when Jason Carl joined me for the stream. We made silver, and so we're back with silver here. And on this character menu here, that you can access from the portrait or from the name of your character. This is where you can also find your themes and all the different things that you can do there. But from this menu, you'll see in the character sharing section now that in addition to being able to copy a link here, you can also generate a QR code. Now, something really important, you can generate this QR code, and what that's going to do is allow people to link to your character. But be sure that if you're doing that, the permissions are still respected. So if you're going to try to share the character, be sure to change this to view anyone with a link. We can generate our QR code here, and then someone can scan this QR code and have a copy of this character on their account. So again, very, very handy if you're at a local game store playing an organized play, Wednesday nights or whatever happens in your town, at conventions, even at your home table. If you're wanting to make sure that if you're a game master or a storyteller or a narrator that is trying to help players make the characters and then get them to those players using their account, this is going to be a really, really handy feature that you can now access through the character menu here. All right, Marvel Multiverse RPG. Moving to that, we've been working really hard on the character tools here, and we got just a quick sneak preview of the character sheet. I think we showed off some stuff with the builder before, but I'll show off some things with the sheet now here in just a moment. But really excited about how these are coming together. That is going to be coming out really soon here as well. And so one of the things that I talked about, several months ago when we released the Pathfinder character tools into the beta, was that, hey, the big thing is it took quite the journey for us to get to that point. But all of that work was really laying out the platform that these other games were going to be able to tie into. And we are seeing really great results with that. Our hypothesis is proving to be true, which is really great. We're able to move very quickly to bring games to the platform and to provide character tools for those games. So we've done Avatar Legends now. We released Vampire last week, and Marvel is going to be here very soon as well. And then I think at least one more before the end of the year that we're looking at, in addition to another big system that I will talk about here towards the end. But yeah, that's all happening this year, and then as we hit into next year, we're going to even crank that up even more. And so we're going to have a lot of games that we're providing character tool support for as we head into 2024. All right. In addition to that, we're working on the Cataclysm of Kang that comes out next month. I've seen this now. It is really, really solid. Great adventure content for the game, a very essential expansion. You can pre-order that now for the Marvel Multiverse RPG Nexus. And then the Murder World That Time Forgot is an adventure that we are working on, and I may or may not, have really strongly influenced that adventure involves dinosaurs to some degree. Convention schedule, Gamehole Con is this week. So if you happen to be around Madison, Wisconsin, and you want to go to one of the best conventions there is out there, I highly recommend Gamehole Con. Don't let the name throw you. There's a story behind it, but it is a really great convention. One of my favorites to attend throughout the year. And if you see us, we're going to have a booth set up at the event out in the main area, so you won't be able to miss us. Demiplane, our offices are actually based in Wisconsin, so Gamehole Con is a little bit of a local convention for the Demiplane team, and so really looking forward to it. Definitely be sure to say hello if you attend. And again, if you haven't had a chance to go to Gamehole Con before, start making those plans for next year, because it really is a great event. PAX Unplugged a little bit later in the year. Character tools roadmap, nothing has changed on this front. This is what we're looking at. Marvel is coming this year for sure. And then we have the redacted that we can't quite talk about yet. But that one is also coming this year. And then we'll see where we go with some of the other games that are there as we head into the end of this year and early next. All right. Let's look a little bit at, again, just sneak preview here of what is coming together for the Marvel character tools. So we've got, kind of our default theme and process here. We've got, some stuff that is maybe a little Ghost Spider, Gwen inspired. You also see some other character kind of inspirations here with our Smash theme. And let's see, which theme is this? Oh, yeah, this is the Uncanny theme that is happening here. So this is all that we're putting into the Marvel character tools. You'll have some of those customization options, but it's also just a great way to be able to access and have really quick, convenient access to all of the things that you might want to see while at play. The digital dice rolling in this in particular, I have found to be incredibly handy for rolling the 616 and being able to parse the results really quickly. So all of that is coming together, and we will have more news on that very soon. All right, giveaway time. Hopefully you've been following the prompts in chat, and good luck to everyone out there. This is an Avatar Legends Ultimate Bundle that's going to include that newly released Republic City that I was praising so much a little bit earlier in the stream. All right, I think that's it. Let's jump to questions. So questions again today. I'm not able, if you're joining a little bit later, I'm not able to take live questions today because I am coming to you from the past. I am currently driving somewhere, probably headed towards Chicago at the moment, but I'm driving right now. So instead today, we are focusing on some of the frequently asked questions that maybe we don't always have time to directly answer here, and we thought that this might be helpful for everyone here today. But then if you have other questions, our moderators can capture those in chat and hopefully answer them. And if there are things that can't be answered, we'll definitely follow up. And you can also come back next week and we'll have the live questions once more. So first of all, what is next from a big picture standpoint for Vampire Nexus? So this is a question we've seen pop up, several times here this last week in particular with the release of the character tools. And when it comes to Vampire, we are really focused on covering the back catalog. So we're going to have, be spinning on the other, the handful of titles that we don't currently have available that, came out a little earlier in V5 for Vampire. So we're going to be focused on that a good bit. We're going to be focused on making sure that, now that Vampire Nexus is fully launched, on getting in lockstep with the World of Darkness team, the publisher, in order to make sure that all that new content, that we're always hitting the street date for the new content as it comes out. That includes, working on blood sigils, but then also the few other things that are announced. And I'm not actually going to name those right now because I can't remember everything that's been publicly announced or not, so I'm not going to mess up there. But the few things that are also kind of on that roadmap for. So we're going to be keeping up to date with all of those things. We're also working on some kind of more group connectivity based features for the redacted project that we can't quite talk about yet. But that is going to have a lot of benefits for the platform at that level, where we do see features in the future for Vampire Nexus that are going to be focused around relationship maps and coterie chronicle sheet type activity. So we definitely have that on the roadmap and something that we want to see happen for Vampire Nexus. It's not specifically the question, but also just from a total World of Darkness standpoint, we are excited to dig into Hunter and Werewolf as well. Can't wait for those to be on the platform. So that's kind of a snapshot of what we're looking at for Vampire Nexus as well as the rest of the World of Darkness. What is next from a big picture standpoint for Pathfinder Nexus? And this is a big one. I talked a little earlier about what we are currently focused on pretty big time is the remaster project, trying to get everything updated. We really want this to be an incredibly useful set of tools for people that are transitioning to the remastered content as quickly as possible. So we're taking this very seriously and jumping into it. I've also mentioned for several weeks how really the biggest thing that we've seen come out of the beta is that hey, there are some things that we can do about this performance, but those are to some degree going to be band-aids or gauze pads and not really getting rid of some of the underlying issues. And so this is where, as we've moved into some other games on the platform, we are aware of some refactoring that we can do. So we are going to be solving that problem on the Pathfinder front, where the tools are going to be far more snappy as we're kind of working through that revamp of what's going on with Pathfinder. So those are the things that are happening right this second. But from there, we have that short-term beta roadmap that we've talked about with formulas, with companions and familiars. All of that is stuff that we will be adding for Pathfinder. We also are working, just got some updates from the team today, in fact, that for the remaster, we're going to be making traits their own game element. And what that means is that we'll be able to have a traits listing in the game compendium where you can go and search traits and filter by different types of traits. That also will produce tooltips for traits. So you'll be able to, as soon as you see traits, since they are everywhere in the game, you'll be able to hover over when you're on desktop to be able to see what's going on. When you're on mobile, you can tap and get a sidebar drawer that will slide out that has all the info about that trait. So that's another big thing alongside deities. So those are some of the things that are in that short to medium term roadmap for Pathfinder Nexus. But our big focus right now is just making sure that Pathfinder is as performant as the other character tools that we're putting out for the other games. And that is we see that as a big priority, because once we get there, it is going to be just a hell of a product, and we're really happy with the direction that it's going. And we're not satisfied with that performance right now, but once we get there, we're going to be able to forge ahead with some of these other features that we're really excited about implementing for Pathfinder. All right, what is the next big feature coming at the Nexus platform level? And so this one is definitely homebrew. So we're working on a homebrew system right now, and homebrew is essential for all of the games that we support. And that's one of the reasons that we're really excited about homebrew and introducing this feature. Again, we are actively working through making sure that this is checking all the boxes that we're going to need it to check. And once this becomes available, it is going to impact all of the games that we support. So in Pathfinder, you would be able to go and make your own magic item. You would be able to share that with the community, publish that out to the community. The community will be able to browse anything that people have shared out there and add that homebrew to their collection that they can then use in their own games. You'll be able to make private homebrew that you can share with your groups, quickly and easily. Some of the things from the past life that lots of learnings that I'm able to carry forward from the past life with homebrew, where hiding the things that you don't want to see that people are sharing with you. All those kind of things are considerations that we've been putting into place. If you are familiar with our builder approach to characters, we are going. Homebrew is going to be very familiar to you. There's going to be a homebrew builder for each of the games that you're going to be able to go in, make that content and share that out. And so we're really really excited about where homebrew is headed, and that is a major platform focus for us. We also see it as a major prerequisite for, in particular, for all games really, but in particular for 5e character tools. 5e character tools don't really make much sense at all until we can have homebrew fully in place, and so that's something that is bigger that we're focusing on as we head into the end of this year. What is the best way to share feedback for the Demiplane dev team? We get this question a lot, and the honest and truthful answer is we pay attention to all of the places because we have to. Like we can't just completely shut off our monitoring to any of the individual channels that people use to communicate these days. So we are going to see it really, as long as it is tying to one of our official accounts, we're going to see the feedback. Another question that is related to this is that we've seen pop up in the last week of, how do we make sure that you do see that feedback? And I can tell you that we see all of it. Again, as long as it's linking to our official accounts, we see all of it. That does not translate to, we see it, therefore we act upon that feedback, because as you can imagine, there are many times where a third of the people are asking for one thing, and 2/3 of the people that are using the tools are asking for something completely opposite of that. So we can't act on every bit of feedback that we see, but I can. The commitment and the promise is that we do see it, we review it, we take it very seriously. Feedback is our lifeblood, because we've got to make sure that these tools that we are making, we're really passionate about making the best tools that there are out there for these games that we play. And the only way we can get there is with your feedback. And so really you can share that anywhere. If I'm coming down to like a preference for us, we certainly like the forums, because the forums give us a really great way to have like kind of the history of everything that's happening when you share it there. It makes that tracking a little bit easier on our side. So again, if you really are just curious what's easier for us, the forums probably are. Discord is also a really good place to share that feedback, because we have dedicated channels for that. But again, having said that about the forums and Discord, we absolutely are open to that feedback coming in any of the places, and we are collecting and reviewing that feedback from all of those places. Is Demiplane hiring, and how do I apply? We are currently not hiring as of today, but we do expect our team to grow as we head into 2024. And as far as how do you apply, we are not currently in a mode where we are doing a mass kind of broadcast of these open roles. But it is something that I could see us likely getting into again as that expansion of the team happens in 2024. So this is a little bit of a non-answer to this one, but since this question comes up a lot, I did want to address it here. That what I can say is that if you're interested in working on the Demiplane team, certainly having the boldness to reach out and share details about yourself, a resume. It is certainly something that we typically see those things, even if we can't act on it. But I will also say that as we formalize some of the new roles as we head into next year, we certainly will keep you posted here and in all the channels that we have, Discord, social media, all these other places. Once we have that to where we start expanding the team and we're looking outside for new roles, we will keep you posted on that. And so again, not an answer for today, but just sharing that when the time comes and we are expanding, we will share about that in all the places. So if you're following us, in the various places, you will definitely see those updates as we have them. All right, then we got a couple of fun ones that I will wrap up with here today. What is your favorite Halloween candy? And again, I don't know what makes Halloween, like the Halloween part of this. I don't know what makes something a Halloween candy, but I will say that my favorite candies are Smarties, just classic Smarties. I have recently discovered that that is apparently something different in Canada, which was just completely mind blowing to me. But I'm talking about the little rolls of, like, I don't know, almost like, hard, but then when you bite into them, powdery, kind of vaguely fruit tasting, kind of things. That is what I'm talking about when I say Smarties. And then I would also say lemon heads. So Smarties and lemon heads, kind of my favorite. Now I will say that you typically don't get that for Halloween. So I'm gonna, offer something else up here. But I don't actually eat a ton of chocolate, but I will say Halloween is probably an exception to that. And I will say that, like, the Reese's, pumpkin things that they do for Halloween are definitely superior to any of the other chocolate offerings. Somebody on our team recently said that, the pumpkins in particular are the perfect ratios of chocolate to peanut butter, even more so than the Reese's cups. And I have to admit that I don't really find anything to disagree with there. So that's how I will answer that question. And then finally, what is your favorite dinosaur? Since that is the most frequently asked question, people just come up to me on the street. Literally, I had somebody the other day, "Hey, are you Bad Eye?" And I'm like, well, yeah, I guess I am. I'm Adam. How are you? And then one of the first things that they said to me is, "What's your favorite dinosaur?" And so I do get that one a lot, and I will say that it is still, for possibly the longest period outside of Velociraptor when Jurassic Park came out when I was 12. The Ankylosaurus is probably enjoying the longest tenure as my favorite dinosaur, other than, again, what was truly a Deinonychus for the Jurassic Park movie. So I'm going with Ankylosaurus, and I will also tease that, I that love of an Ankylosaurus might be impacting, a future product, a future adventure that we might be making for, a Marvel role playing game. So you'll have to, kind of check out the adventure to see what I mean by that. But yeah, definitely going with Ankylosaurus at this point. All right, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me, especially with me coming at you from the past. But with everything that happened this last week, I wanted to make sure that we talked about and shared, the news and the updates on that front. Again, if you are in Madison and you're coming to Gamehole Con, be sure to say hello. And otherwise, we will see you here next week for the next dev update. Join. Again, I'm not going to be there, but I can't wait to see what happens with my friends as they play through a new episode of Children of Erte tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific. Later, Gators.